Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the April board meeting of the IgniteCDA board, Coeur d'Alene's Urban Renewal Agency. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Brad, maybe since you were here last, you can lead us on the pledge.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Two thanks to Dave. One for telling me we were on air.
Yeah.
And secondly, for covering for me the last couple of months while I was traveling. First item of business is public comment. Opportunity for anybody to approach the board and have any public comment. I see none at this point. So let's do approval of minutes of the March 16th, 2016 board meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the March 16th, 2016 board meeting minutes. Are there any corrections, comments, or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports. Finance.
Anybody need a copy?
Tony's going to do that in the absence of Mr. Caldwell, who's no longer with us on the board. Man of leisure, I guess. A little more leisure, anyway.
Reggie's copy. You good? Okay.
I didn't bring my magnifying glass.
There
Thanks.
you go.
I need.
Oh, can you share? I just
You can have this.
We can share here.
That's right. We can share.
Yeah,
I've got some of it anyway.
there you go.
Well, first off, I'll start with the Lake District balance sheet. We had a fairly quiet month for both districts. So if you look at the balance sheet, the Lake District experienced a $31,178 increase in cash assets from February month end. There was no change in our receivables and fixed assets. And under other assets, you saw a slight increase in our Washington Trust Bank bond reserve of $111. Under liabilities and fund balance, the only real issue there was we have our monthly decrease in mortgages and notes payable, an amount of $7,757, which is a typical debt obligation month reduction. All other liability parameters are either unchanged or normal for the month, including a 2% credit to the due to the arts line. As you know, the board reserves 2% of our monthly increment for the Arts Commission, so that has been accrued. If you turn to the P&L in the Lake District, the Lake District received $47,190 in tax increment revenue from the county in March, and there was no significant other expenditures to comment upon. Pretty standard month.
There's the pen.
If there's no questions, we can shift over to the River District. On the balance sheet, the River District experienced a $12,734 increase in cash assets from February month end. And there was no change on any other portion of the balance sheets. All the liabilities and fund balances remain unchanged, other than a 2% credit to the Arts Commission accrual line item. And then on the River District P&L, the River District received $21,322 in tax increment revenue from the county in March. And all other P&L line items are consistent with a normal operating month, showing a 50% cost share expense. If there's no questions, I'll pass around the payables. Pretty quiet month on the payables front this month. We have three items for consideration. Elam and Burke, $74 invoice. It's one of the lowest we've ever had from Elam and Burke for General Legislative Counsel. Holly Troxel, $360 for legal counsel. And Molitor and Associates Consulting Government Relations work for March, $1,852.79. A total amount of $2,286.79.
Chair, we entertain a motion to approve the financial report and payables.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Second item I have, Mr. Chairman, under finances, I just wanted to share with everybody the second quarter fiscal 2016 quarterly report that I prepare for the board. And as I share with you every quarter, just go ahead and review that report. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'd be happy to discuss any items with you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, for finance.
Okay. Takes us to housing. Commissioner Goodlander. Any
No
report? Parking, Commissioner Jordan.
Nothing to report, Mr. Chairman.
Parking studies underway, I take it?
Oh, that's still underway, yeah.
Yeah.
That should be done. It should be done the end of this month, I think. Somewhere right in there.
So we'll have something
But
to talk
nothing,
about next
nothing really new to report.
Okay.
Just
It's
one comment,
underway.
Mr. Chairman. The Rich and Associates plans to make a presentation to the board in May on their findings. I think they plan to report to City Council the 17th of May, and I believe we meet the 18th of May. So they'll have a back-to-back presentation on their update to the 2007 parking study.
Very good. Thank you. Communications, Commissioner Patzer.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you folks remember, last month we approved funding to update our video. The proof of that is supposed to be available, Tony, is it today or tomorrow?
Today or tomorrow.
So look for that. We'll send you copies of that for your review. But that's all I have to report.
Okay. Jobs Committee, Commissioner Arman.
No report.
Okay. Takes us right back to you, Tony, Executive Director's report.
Well, I have on the agenda the IgniteCDA Board Commissioner vacancy discussion. As you know, Rod Caldwell resigned from the board last month, and I put on here as a potential action item for the board to consider how we want to address the vacancy. In the past, we've looked for people that are interested in working with the board to come and visit with the board and express their interest. But there's other avenues that the board can pursue, so just open up for discussion.
So just a little background. So after about, I think it was 2011, about when they amended the urban renewal law, the board started to fill its own vacancies because the statute changed to say that if there's a vacancy midterm, the board would appoint a commissioner to fill out that term. I'm not sure what the genesis of that idea was, but that's what the law was. And that's the current law until July 1, when the most recent statutory change comes into effect, and it changes it back to what it used to be, which is back to the mayor appointing and the council concurring. So we have this period of time now between Rod Caldwell's resignation and July 1, which we could appoint now under the law.
If I may, Denny.
Deanna.
I think in the past, and I certainly don't have a problem with the mayor appointing, but in the past we've always asked if there were people that were interested and done some interviewing to see if they were interested in the job, and instead of just saying, do you want this job, but if you're interested, give us an application that you are interested and let us know. And that gives you a choice of more than one. I don't have a problem, again, with the mayor appointing at all, but I do think it would be nice to follow that procedure, allow opportunities for others to apply to serve on the board if they so choose.
I guess I go about things a different way. I go out and recruit people that I think that are good. I don't just sit back and wait for applications, although that can be a good process too. You want to get everybody involved. But I interviewed Olivia Metz because she had shown interest in being part of the board. She is a very bright young lady. I've worked with her when she worked for the Idaho Department of Labor. So I just wanted to throw that name out there. It doesn't have to be approved tonight. If we wish to go out and get other applicants, I'm fine with that too. We are, April, May, June. If there isn't any applicants by then it would go to mayor and council.
I would agree.
Okay with it. Whatever way the board chooses, but I think Olivia is an would be an outstanding addition to the board.
Any other comments? I agree with. She's a very, very good candidate, and actually we've had some exceptional people apply in the past as well, and so there is interest out there for some very good people. Olivia is obviously one of them. So I don't have a big sense one way or the other. It is a different situation now, and I think we did develop this interview process, which I think has been a good one. There may have been one or two. I don't know that we may have selected just without interview. I can't recall. Tony, can you?
No, we've
Always done that?
We've asked folks who are interested to send a letter and a resume expressing their interest and why they'd like to serve on the board. We filled 2 open terms that way, one bringing Justin on and one bringing Mick on for our open terms.
Okay. So it's
Danny,
pleasure.
a question. If after July 1, when the mayor and council appoints the midterm type of replacements, it continues to be just for the duration of the existing term.
Correct.
And then if that person's interested in continued serving, then it goes back before the mayor and council for a renew or a replacement.
Correct.
Okay.
Rod's term just started, though, right? Didn't he just get reappointed?
Yeah, within the year, right? I believe. Yeah, so his is a 4+ year term to fill.
Yeah, as long as applicants understand that they may be in there for a short period of time or they may be in there for pretty much a duration of an existing term. So I think the key component here is the mayor and council, need to be on the affirmative side of whatever process we elect between now and July 1st. So I think obviously the mayor has gone out and I'm going to use your word, Steve, recruit.
I'm okay with using it.
And I think that's fine. I think there's going to be some other replacements coming up here, speaking personally, and so that process, I'd like to see after July 1st maybe an opportunity for us to be involved somehow in that recommendation process. Potential folks. I don't know if the mayor and council want to do that. Come to us for some suggestions, maybe not an all-inclusive list, but maybe we've got some insight as to some people that might be interested as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have it a joint process. Sure. Yeah, and I have discussed, I let members of the council know that I talked to Olivia, and they were well aware of it. They also, the ones that I spoke with, didn't speak to all of them, but spoke to quite a few of them, and they also agree that she's a great candidate. But Deanna makes a good point. If we've done in the past, looked for applications, obviously there hasn't been too much turnover in the board for quite some time, so I haven't replaced a lot of them, but would certainly be willing to go that process. But like I said, we got to do it over the next couple of months.
So
if that's the route we wish to.
Why don't we open it now and wait until the May board meeting and see what we have for applicants, and go from, if we get other applicants, if not, Olivia would be a very good opportunity for us.
Well, hopefully, certainly I think she'd be in the mix. She's already expressed an interest, hopefully.
Right.
So
we already have her resume, so.
Yeah, I think I second what everybody said. I think from my experience working with her, she'd be a great fit. But I agree with Mick. I think it'd be good just to continue our process for a month, open it up, and see what happens.
Is that the sense of the board, that we put out some sort of an announcement, collect letters of interest in the next, Tony, 3 weeks maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And we'd have all those by the next meeting.
Sure.
We could circulate them to the council and perhaps
See who else is interested.
make a selection next month.
Yeah.
And the mayor definitely needs to be a part of that process.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to get sideways with him.
Not on that, anyway. At least that's some other things.
That's not an astute thing to do.
Brad.
I'm trying to figure out how to put this, but I don't know Olivia that well, but I hear nothing but good things about her. Sounds like she'd be a great person. So I've heard several of us say that. So I'm just wondering if she generally has support. I'm just kind of wondering how it looks if we put out a request for resumes from people that'd be interested in serving, and then in the end she's the best one. She's appointed anyway. So, or you know what I mean?
Well, let me respond this way.
Trying to figure out how to put this exactly.
Yeah, if you're concerned that we're going,
are we running people around in a circle for nothing if she may be the front runner anyway? I'm okay
I think there's a
running
benefit
with us
even
now,
if
or
that
what we
happens,
should do.
Brad, because then we've gone through this and we have a current pool of people next time we need to make an appointment. And
Yeah,
there likely will be some opportunities here.
I agree, Denny. I think it's and I think it's just a good diligence process to go through for us as a board. So that's my opinion.
Okay.
We all good with that?
Yep.
Tony, you don't think we need a motion, do we?
I think so.
Okay. What else do you have for us, sir? Once you finish taking minutes.
Finish the process here. The next item, just some updates on projects, initiatives. The Mullen Road project update. As I shared here in an email not too long ago, Cameron Riley commenced construction on the Mullen Road project on March 28th, and I've been told the project is moving forward on schedule and no major issues or even minor issues have arisen. Welch Comer Engineering, the consulting engineers for the project, have designed and distributed a stakeholder newsletter designed to keep folks up to date on what's going on. I think there's another, the newsletter will be shared periodically, and I think there's another update maybe coming at the end of this week. So it's going smooth, seems to be on schedule, and no major issues.
I walked by there on the way to work today, and the street is taking shape, so if you go down there, you can kind of get a sense for how that street's going to flow.
The second update initiative is on Southeast Way Road reconstruction design. Just for background, as you recall, IgniteCDA has approved partnership funding in the amount of $250,000 towards the $342,900 cost for the design element of the Southeast Way Road reconstruction. The city is picking up the remaining $92,900. So, as you recall, Welch Comer has been retained to provide that design. They are at a point, they are getting close to a 90% complete design for Southeast Way. They plan, in conjunction with the city, to have an open house at the latter part of May to kind of seek public input on the design, and then hopefully come to the board in June to share that design in somewhat of a final form so that they will have an updated cost estimate for the project, which might be a little different than the board heard a while back. So that's why I want to get them in front of the board in June, because we set our budget in July, so that we need to make sure we understand what the cost impact is. As you recall, the board approved $3.5 million for the project, and they will have a pretty good cost estimate by June, which may be a little different than that the board might need to consider. So that's the process on that front. I've looked at the design. They've done a good job. They're trying to anticipate future developments along Southeast Way and constructing the roadway to enhance or to embrace those future development opportunities. So I think you'll be impressed with what they're thinking, and then there's still a few things to work out. So that's coming along. The Collaborative Education Facility Initiative update. I've been informed that the Department of Public Works has selected H2A Architects of Coeur d'Alene for the A&E services for the project. That happened earlier this month. Everything else has remained unchanged. The funding level still remains at $9.5 million, with $2 million coming from collectively North Idaho College, University of Idaho, and Lewis and Clark State College, $5 million from the State Permanent Building Fund, and $2.5 million from IgniteCDA. So that's where the funding stands at this time. Those are the initiative updates. The other issue I'd like to share with you is the demolition of 515 West Garden Avenue. We've chatted about this issue back in December. We've kind of put it on hold based on a couple issues, pending issues, most primarily the potential partnership with the city and the county on additional parking over in that vicinity. But since then, we've been having some trespass issues, some vagrancy issues. Our fine folks at the police department have helped remedy those situations. The property's been resecured, but I believe it's time to go ahead and demolish that building, and I plan to pull the trigger on that here and check back with Cannon Hill to see if their cost estimate remains the same. It was $7,000 to $8,000 back in December, so just wanted to inform the board, due to these situations and circumstances, I think it's wise to go ahead and demolish the buildings on that property.
Tony, have we gone through the asbestos remediation exercise to
No.
know? So
No.
that figure could change based on asbestos
Right,
presence,
yeah.
right?
The testing will be included in their cost estimate. Remediation would be extra depending what they find. And I do have a picture, just to remind everybody, if I can find my remote, of the property we're talking about. There it is. The property we're talking about is on the screen. This is the properties over at 515 West Garden Avenue. That's for Deanna's benefit. It's outlined in red on the screen, and it's the main house and one outbuilding would be demolished. It's a large parcel that you can see, which is adjacent to the old Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad property right away.
Any questions about that?
It's probably a nice house 60 or 70 years ago.
Yeah. It's pretty dilapidated. Okay.
The final issue I have, I just want to share with you the update on our tactical goals for FY16. Not sure how to advance this. Well, Jeff's in control there, so it won't happen. I emailed these out to you. I'm not sure if anybody would like a copy, but I do have them. But you can see them on the screen if you can read them. I believe that we're halfway through our fiscal year, and I think we are on track to potentially still achieve all these goals in some form or fashion. So that's why I've kind of left the status as a green versus a yellow, which would mean that we are in jeopardy of not fulfilling these goals or attaining these goals. Some are relatively further along than others. The one that I'll be working with the Housing Committee on is under housing. It's to determine opportunities resulting from the city's housing assessment update. I've been doing some work on that front, and I've contacted the Housing Committee and working with Deanna. I'll be setting up a meeting here with the Housing Committee to further look at how we might be able to be a partner with the city based on their recent update of their assessment. So I'll be working with the committee, and then the committee will bring forward any thoughts and ideas for the board to consider. Any feedback on my assessments? Any concerns? Any questions? If not, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Tony. Any questions of Tony on any of that information? Hearing none, that takes us to public commissioner comments, rather. Any board commissioner comments? Okay, public comments. Don't see any public comments. That takes us to executive session. We have some matters to discuss under subsection C to conduct deliberations to acquire an interest in real property which is not owned by a public agency. We need a roll call.
And a motion.
We need a motion, excuse me. Thank you, Tony. Can I have a motion for that?
Motion to move to executive session?
Second.
Roll call. And that's under, the minutes will reflect that's under 67-2345-1 subsection C.
Goodlander?
Yes.
Hatzer?
Aye.
Harmon?
Yes.
Whitmire?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Davis?
Aye.
Druffel?
Aye. Okay, we are in executive session.